this. I would give anything just for a taste.
Hello again. You're welcome back to Ballina Arts Centre, where we're delighted to be presenting Series 2 of Music Makers. So over the next 3 episodes, we're hoping to brighten up your winter with some of the best music and songwriting that the country has to offer. In tonight's episode, we're going to feature the Masterplan, an emerging act from North Mayo. Myles Gaffney, twice-Grammy nominated for his writing, and a Eurovision winner that needs no introduction, Charlie McGettigan. So up first is the Masterplan, hailing from North Mayo, outstanding young talents who really brought a lot of energy and a lot of depth to their performances. I think we'll be hearing a lot about these guys as time moves on, and I hope you enjoy the performance as much as we did in the studio here tonight.
I'm falling down and nowhere to land. No one to catch my fall. No one to hold my hand. And I feel nothing at all. I don't wanna be jaded. Why do I feel so faded? Yeah, yeah. I am starting to hate this. I don't wanna be jaded. I got demons, they look like me. I have monsters sitting beneath my back. No, I can't get any sleep. Can't hide the voices inside of my head. I don't wanna be jaded. Why do I feel so faded? Yeah, yeah. I am starting to hate this. I don't wanna be jaded. I don't wanna be jaded. Why do I feel so faded? I am starting to hate this. I don't wanna be jaded. I don't wanna be jaded. Why do I feel so faded? Yeah, yeah. I am starting to hate this. I don't wanna be jaded. I don't wanna be jaded. Why do I feel so faded? Yeah, yeah. I am starting to hate this. I don't wanna be jaded.
So we're on stage here, Ballina Arts Centre, with the Masterplan. Lads, fantastic to have you in. Thanks very much for coming.
Thanks very much for having us.
Would you like to just introduce yourselves to the folks at home first, please?
Yep, well, first of all, we have a guitarist who isn't here with us today, James, and myself, I'm the drummer, I'm Kieran.
I'm Craig, I'm the singer and one of the guitarists.
I'm Edward and I'm the bass player.
But not today.
Not today, I was playing acoustic. But
So Craig, you're the main songwriter, I think, is that right?
Yes, I do the heavy lifting in this band.
I see.
So you
I see
know,
how
I
it
know.
is.
You're lending your genius to the other three
Yeah,
guys.
we're just here for the ride, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I jest. I do a fair bit of the songwriting now. You know, Eddie not Eddie. You've done one or two, I think.
Yeah.
James and myself do most of it now, and
Yeah.
Kieran's starting to interject a few songs too now for the new album we're working on.
Kind of trying to break the trend of the drummer never writing songs.
Yeah. Well, what's the last thing the drummer said before I kicked out of the band? Hey guys, I got a song we should play. So no, we do most of it.
No, you know all the cliches anyway, and that's for sure. So I suppose, Eddie, moving from the bass to the acoustic, do you find that easy? Is it something? Did you start on the acoustic?
Yeah, I
guitar?
started on the acoustic when I was about 14, 15. I learned the acoustic.
Yeah.
Self-taught, and I picked up a bass then in 2018, 2019, and I've been playing. So yeah, it's easy enough. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, it's easy when you know how.
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
And that's always the trick. So right, the first song that you did for us tonight is called Jaded.
Yep. Yeah.
Where did that one come from?
That one's Craig.
Right. Well, I wrote that one when I was 16. I was in another band at the time.
Okay.
And the two of us wrote it together. The old guitarist and myself, we wrote it together. And, well, he added one or two bits and I did most of it myself. But it was basically just, the band at the time was called Jaded. And I said, geez, that sounds like a better song title.
Yeah.
We wrote the chorus, just I Don't Want to Be Jaded, just started writing a lot of waffle. And we went backwards with it, but the concept of being jaded. And I had the riff already, and we just went from there.
Very good. It's a nice piece of music. It's a really good piece of writing.
Cheers, thank you. Means
What
a
was
lot.
the name of the other writer, just to give the credit?
Luke Sweeney.
Very good. Okay, so to yourself and Luke, fantastic stuff. So then the final song, Lost Souls.
Yeah. So
Or
that,
Lost Soul, is it?
Lost Soul, yeah.
Lost Soul. You're talking about wandering around a graveyard at night time, I think.
again, Craig wrote this one.
Is that
so Craig
something
knows.
you're into?
Well, I was a bit down in the dumps at the time when I wrote that one, and I just thought I couldn't really express myself properly. I was trying, every time I talked to these, I tried to express it, but I couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
And I thought, screw it, I'll write a song about it. 15 minutes, just picked up the guitar and just started spewing. Then just reorganised all the jumble that it was. And
you
just put
found-
3 chords to it and said, job done.
A 3-chord masterpiece. It really is. It's super, like, you know.
Thank you.
I have to
Really
compliment that.
appreciate that.
Okay, well listen, I've really, thoroughly enjoyed talking to you guys. You know, I hadn't met you before. I'm sure I'll be seeing and hearing a lot more from you in the future.
Hope so.
And yeah, on behalf of Music Makers, just best of luck with everything.
Thank you so much for having us.
Cheers.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Exactly.
There have been some days where I felt like I should just give in. Just give in. It was cold, it was dark, I am lost and I don't know where you are. Where you are. But maybe there's a way, gotta be a way to find the better days. But until then, and I'm just a lost soul running through the graveyard. And I'm just a lost soul running through the graveyard. I'm lost and I don't know where you are. Where you are. And I'm just a lost soul running through the graveyard. I'm lost and I don't know where you are. Where you are. There have been some days where I felt ashamed of who I am. But I am just a man, I don't have a plan. So I leave it in God's hands, in God's hands, in God's hands. And I'm just a lost soul running through the graveyard. And I'm just a lost soul running through the graveyard. I'm lost and I don't know where you are. Where you are. And I'm just a lost soul running through the graveyard. I'm lost and I don't know where you are. where you are. Lost love, broken dreams, and all these things, and in between I don't know where to begin, but I won't give in. No, I won't give in. And I'm just a lost soul running through the graveyard. And I'm just a lost soul running through the graveyard. I'm lost and I don't know where you are, where you are. And I'm just a lost soul running through the graveyard. I'm lost and I don't know where you are, where you are. And I'm just a lost soul running through the graveyard.
Our second act tonight is a good friend of mine and colleague from Cork City. Myles Gaffney has been nominated twice for Grammy Awards. He's won an Irish Folk Album of the Year award, and he's currently working on releasing his new album, which will be called Soldier On. Myles is deep and thoughtful and compassionate, and I think that when you hear his music for the first time, you're going to feel an effect, just like I did first time that I heard him.
The moment they slammed the door upon my admission, my dignity and identity, they stole my only possessions. In their eyes burned Satan's flame. You're the shame, you've yourself to blame, and Mother Superior deemed for refrain as they christened me my fictitious name. Welcome to your hell on earth for the fallen mothers of the church, where you're nothing, you're only dirt, and we'll sell your baby when you give birth. So I beg Jesus and Mary, would you let me keep my baby? Can I have him back if I keep going to Mass? Isn't this what you told me as I scrub down on my hands and knees, and you strip my flesh with your rosary beads, with a blind eye of the powers to be? What a price to pay for a pregnancy. Infants screaming in distress, snatched straight from their mother's breast, the masquerading brides of Christ. On their newborn wrists they slapped the price. Some little angels weren't saved, their mothers were kept as slaves, and nobody knows their names. They're buried in shallow graves. Suffer in silence, not even a whisper. Never forget your demonic sisters. Always remember you're the sinner as you cut the grass with your paper scissors. So I beg Jesus and Mary, Would you let me keep my baby? Can I have him back if I keep going to mass? Isn't this what you told me as I scrubbed down on my hands and knees, and you stripped my flesh with your rosary beads to the blind eye of the powers to be? What a price to pay for a pregnancy. Still the stench of evil seeps from the walls. Babies' cries, they haunt halls. They haunt their halls.
Right, folks, so I've been waiting since I think the 6th of March 2020 for this moment. I've described Myles Gaffney in the past as the greatest living Irish songwriter. And after what I've just heard there, it's just confirmed all that for me. Myles, thanks so much for coming up today.
Thanks, Brendan, for having me up. Just before we begin, you've put in Trojan effort yourself, promoting Irish music, Irish folk, and the songwriters of Ireland and our songs. Since I first contacted you when we done the Tomas McCurtain song, I just want to say thank you, and I'm speaking, I suppose, on behalf of a lot of Irish songwriters and performers. Thank you for all the hard work you've put in promoting everybody and the gigs you run, and for having me up here today in Ballina. It's greatly appreciated, and thank you very much for coming.
Myles, your story is well documented, right? And your songs are all experiential stuff, the stuff that you've felt, the stuff that you've lived through, a lot of the joy, an awful lot of the pain. I want to talk first about Come Hold My Hand, Son, because it was the first song that I heard from you. Is it difficult to sing that song, Myles, is I suppose my question at this stage, or how does it make you feel when you're behind that microphone?
Well, at the beginning it used to affect me. In the early days, when I'd see videos of myself performing that song, I could hear the voice kind of, changing in certain parts of the song, or if my father was there, or if I could see them in the audience, But over time, I kind of changed my outlook on the song because I just want to make my mother proud, and so when I perform it now, I don't get upset at all because I've nearly dealt with all. I was greatly affected by my mother's death. Yes. Still affects me today.
Of course.
But I've come to the stage where I've accepted this is my life. So when I perform a song, I do it to make her proud, and I think of her to make her happy.
Your song for the fallen mothers, Myles, I thought that this song was written based on what you'd heard in the media and what you'd known about with the mother and baby scandal. But it turns out it was a lot closer than that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Pat Buckley, he's a TD in Cork. Pat asked me to come to sing some songs for his friends and his family as kind of a little a shindig for being elected.
Celebration.
So I went down, I sang a couple of songs, and when I was finished, I was just kind of wiping down my guitar, and I was approached, and a lady, and she said to me, "Myles, can I speak to you a minute? I'm wondering, can you help me? I need you to write me a song." I took her phone number and I rang her a few weeks later, and I went down to her home in Middleton, which is in East Cork, County Cork, and stayed in the house with her for about 5 hours. She had a big tray of cakes, pot of tea, and I had to buy her on a few pieces of paper and just told her to speak. I extracted some of the words. Upon my admission, that's one word she used, Mother Superior, and the Masquerading Brides of Christ. They are the ones that stick out in my mind that I can remember from the night, which I put into the song. I wouldn't say it was a great experience. I've met a lot of people writing songs, but this one was one to remember. The stories were horrific,
We do hope that we'll have you back here in this theatre, this wonderful room, with 240 people shouting their heads off and cheering along as you do your thing. I think it's likely that you're going to fill many halls all over the country with the music that you're producing. So, on behalf of everybody at Music Makers, just Gurmai go the car.
Got a meal walk with.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Year was 94. God came knocking on our front door, and on May the 7th, He took my mom to heaven. No more suffering and no more pain. Pretty can be ugly sometimes, and sometimes I wonder what goes on in the mind of God. By night and by day I watched her fade away. She said, "Come hold my hand, son, I must go away. Your daddy's there to mind you. I will always be by your side." Now all I've left are all these memories of bright blue eyes and the locks of blonde hair, and oh, how I wish she was here today. Because you can't put your arms around a memory. You can't put your arms around a memory. You can't put your arms around a memory. By night and by day I saw her fade away. She said, "Now don't you cry, 'cause I must say goodbye. I'm going to the sky where the angels fly. I'll always be by your side." I see you in my dreams, Mama, and you hold my hand once more, and you touch my broken heart from missing you. It's sore. The next time we meet, we'll be at the Golden Gates, and you laugh at my tattoo of you, and I'll hold your hand once more, never let it go again. By night and by day I saw her fade away. She said, "Come hold my hand, son, I've been long to stay. Your daddy's there to mind you. I will always be by your side." She said, "Come hold my hand, son, I must go away. Come hold my hand, son, I've been long to stay. Come hold my hand, son, come hold my hand, son, I'll always be by your side."
Last up tonight, but by no means least, is the great Charlie McGettigan. We don't really need to introduce Charlie, Eurovision winner and star of the folk and ballad scene for many, many years. Charlie's been a hero of mine for many, many years, so it was a real pleasure to be able to sit down, talk to him. I actually got to sing with him as well, and just to listen to the master in action.
You find the feet of a dancer. I hope you can sing in the rain. I hope you find all the easy answers to your pain. It won't be easy, but what can I say? 'Cause there will be trouble on the way. And around every corner, terror and tears. But always remember that we're here. And I hope you find the feet of a dancer. I hope you can sing in the rain. I hope you find all the easy answers to your pain. I hope you find love and affection. I hope you find someone who'll care. I hope you find all the right directions everywhere. Everywhere. A shoulder to cry on whenever you're low. You can rely, you know, 'cause there's nothing too crazy and there's nothing too dear. Just always remember that we're here. And I hope you find the feet of a dancer. I hope you can sing in the rain. I hope you find all the easy answers to your pain. And I hope you find love and affection. I hope you find someone who'll care. I hope you find all the right directions everywhere. Everywhere. And even when the rain comes falling down, and oh, it's falling down on you, I hope you find the feet of a dancer. I hope you can sing in the rain. I hope you find all the answers to your pain. And I hope you find love and affection. I hope you find someone who'll care. I hope you find all the right directions everywhere. 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 Always remember that we're feet of a dancer. Feet of a dancer.
So we're back piano side in Ballina Arts Centre, and a hero of mine, Charlie, let's be honest about it, the soundtrack of my 90s, you were a big part of it. I'm so grateful for you to come and join us today.
It's good to be here, Brendan. It's funny that you say that, the rock and roll kids. it has become almost an anthem. You know, and there's a fella down where I go into the local pub, and every time I walk into the pub, he puts it on the jukebox, and he thinks he's been horrid smart altogether. You know, well, I'll embarrass Charlie now, but it has. I remember when we won the Eurovision, my son was playing football for Longford, St Mel's in Longford, and he became known as the Rocker. Because his dad was the thing, and we used to go to the football matches, and all the kids would be at the match. They'd all start singing Rock and Roll Kids. So it's an endurance song. I think it's one of those songs that anybody can identify with, and it's, you know, the way it's one of those things. I could do that. I could sing that. And it's one of those songs. And even you, Brendan, can sing it.
I tried. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity, Charlie. I really am. You've got a massive catalogue, and without giving away your age or anything, you've got a long number of years of experience under your belt. And yet you're still churning out these, to me, crackers, you know what I mean? It seems to me that you're not getting tired of it.
No, thankfully, you know, and I've been blessed with the music right from the very first song. I'm working on a book at the moment, nearly finished, and the title of the book is called "From the Doggy in the Window to the Rock and Roll Kids," because the first song I remember hearing on the radio was "How Much Is That Doggy in the Window," and you know, I can still remember it coming on the radio, and so music has been with me from the age of about 4 or 5 years of age, and it's been, particularly in this last 18 months or so that we've been locked down, it's been a godsend for me. Absolutely. Because you can lose yourself in music.
The start of your journey, like let's go right back. You know, when did you start to play, and you know, your first gigs, that kind of stuff?
I grew up in Ballyshannon, and there was, you know, I was about 11, 12 years of age, and they had this chewing gum, bubble gum, called LN Bubblegum. And you got a playing card with a picture of an American film star, musician. People like Fabian and Bobby Rydell were all on the backs of these. You built it up. But there was a picture of the Everly brothers on the back of it, and they had these two Gibson guitars. They were black. And I just suddenly said, look at those, what are they? You know, they're just so... And then my dad used to tune into Radio Luxembourg on a Sunday night, because there was a fellow called Horace Batchelor who had this thing called the intra-draw method of winning the pools. Right. And he used to do a little chat about it every Sunday. My dad used to tune in, and it was always in the middle of a pop music program. This would have been about 1962, 61, 62. And I heard this big guitar sound, and it was a fella called Dwayne Eddy, who had this big electric Gresh guitar, and I heard that, wow, what's that? And then the Shadows came along, and I began to see these guitars. And then one day, in a local shop window, a guitar appeared, and it was a green guitar with a Hawaiian motif with a palm tree on the front of it, and it was there for months. And every day going home from school, I said, look at this. And then suddenly one day it was gone. The guitar was gone. I said, God, what happened to the guitar? And I found out that a fella, about a couple of months later, I found out that a fella not living too far from me had bought it, and I called to his house and said, can I just touch the guitar? You know? And I took it up, and I thought I'm going to sound like Dwayne Eddy straight away, and suddenly I realised, you've got to learn this.
This is hard.
You know. So my mum and dad bought me a guitar when I was 13. A dreadful yoke. It was a Negman electric guitar with a white pickup on the front. And I didn't realise, I thought you just plugged it into the wall, but you had an amp. So literally, our bed had a wooden frame, so I used to jam the guitar up against the wooden frame, and it went down into the floorboards, and it made a soundboard for the guitar. So that was how I got an electric guitar to play like an acoustic.
You were learning straight away, weren't you?
Yeah,
and figuring it out.
but from that day on, you know, I've had the bug.
So look, Charlie, I suppose music has taken you all over the world. Really, hasn't it?
It has, and I've met so many different... it's only when I sat down to write this book that I realised the number of people I've had the pleasure of working with. Everybody from Neil Tobin to Eleanor Shanley to Maura O'Connell to Paul Harrington to people like Bela Fleck and Jerry Douglas in America, you know, and I've recorded in Nashville and played in New York, played all over Europe, and I kept a day job doing all this. You know, I don't know where I got the time, but it's when you love something, you know, you take every chance you get.
I suppose, like, you're probably inundated with questions about the elephant in the room, the Eurovision win. I'm going to take a different angle on my question about it. I just wonder about the song Rock and Roll Kids. Was that written as a planned effort to win a contest, or did it evolve into an entry, or, you know, how did that start?
I've been friendly with a fellow called Brendan Graham for the bones of 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
We've known each other, we've written songs together and had a couple of covers and stuff like that. And Brendan would always be testing out songs for me and send me over songs. And he sent me Rock and Roll Kids. And he asked me would I do a demo of it. And I was big into Don Williams. I don't know why, but Don Williams was my sort of
your influence,
mentor for the day at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did a version. It was kind of a Don Williams version, and didn't really work that well. But about a year later, he came to me with a version with just a guy on a piano singing, right. And it was Paul Harrington.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought, yeah, Brendan, that's the song. You know, that you're going to get a cover on that song because it's wonderful. But anyway, that year I was asked would I adjudicate at the Eurovision at the National Song Contest entries. Get 300 or 400 songs, and you listen through them and pick out and get it down to the last 16 or whatever. And one of the songs that came up, and it was really, really regulated in those days. They had a firm of accountants, watched every move you made. It was really strict. And didn't Rock and Roll Kids come up? And I said, I have to admit, I know this song. And I know the singer, and I said, and I know the writer, so I really have to abstain here. Yeah. And the song didn't get through because the others, there wasn't enough votes within the panel to give it a front. And I had to ring Brendan the next day and say, sorry, Brendan, but I had to do it. But he put it in the following year, and I wasn't on the jury that year, and it got through. And he rang me up and told me, and I said, Geoff, congratulations. I hope you're not going to put any bells and whistles on this. It just needs Paul on the piano. And he said, I have something to ask you, you know. And he said, would you go with Paul? And I said, really, it doesn't need anybody else, Brendan. And he said, oh no, it does. It needs just that other little element. And it didn't suit me. It wasn't a year that I wanted to do, you know. Yeah. And I said, give me a day, and I'll think it over. And I discussed it with Gretty and my wife, and I sure, look, we'll give it a go. And the first time I met Paul, the songs were all being done on a weekly basis on Pat Kenny's Saturday night TV show. Yeah. And I still hadn't met Paul, and we came to the afternoon of the TV show. And talking about you saying no need for practice, we sat down for an hour, and whatever way it happened, there was a chemistry, and it just worked.
Amazing.
We just sat down, and I remember at the rehearsal there was the Minute Chamber Choir were on at the rehearsal. I'm a big choral fan, I love choral music, and they were fantastic, and we were coming up next to rehearse. And I thought, oh God, we're going to sound very small after this lot. But we played the song, and they all stood up and applauded. And I thought, holy God, there's something magical here, you know. And the rest is history.
Dust if you must, but wouldn't it be better to paint a picture or write a letter, bake a cake or plant a seed, ponder on the difference in a want and need? Oh, dust if you must, dust till you bust, but always trust your wanderlust. Dust if you must, but there's not much time, with rivers to swim and mountains to climb and music to hear and books to read and friends to cherish and a life to lead. Oh, dust if you must, dust till you bust, but always trust your wanderlust. Yeah, dust if you must, but there's a world out there with the sun in your eyes and the wind in your hair, flutter of snow and dryer of rain. This day will not come around again. Oh, dust if you must, dust till you bust, but always trust your wanderlust. Let those good times always find you. Leave those troubled times far behind you. Oh, dust dust if you must, but bear in mind, old age will come and it's not kind. And when you go, and go you must, you yourself will make a lots more dust. Oh, dust if you must, dust till you bust, but always trust your wanderlust.
So that's it for tonight, folks. Hopefully you'll come back next time to listen in on Dennis McCalmont, John Seabright and Clara Gardner. From Ballina Arts Centre, thanks very much for tuning in. Please send your likes, your shares and your comments and let people know what we're doing here. All the best.
I will give anything for just one last kiss. I will give anything just for a taste